Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jaleali in this incarnation. Well, today we wanted to comment that we have the moon going through Gemini today and tomorrow. And at the moment I am doing this video, the moon is creating a square with Saturn in Pisces, which is, it is important to understand that the moon is responding to a Mercury that has already entered in Leo, and that today made this opposition with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Beyond the things that I already commented in the previous videos, when Mercury does these oppositions with Pluto, many times a lot of mental patterns that could be like destructive could emerge. All the fears that were stuck in the unconscious, because what Pluto exposes is in order for us to identify and transcend. So the days when we have the moon in Gemini, it is about opening ourselves to new information, and to have conversations that can be really nourishing for us. It is also about acquiring new perspectives or doing different things, new things, experimenting new things. But as I said, right now it is creating this square with Saturn, and tomorrow, before entering Cancer, it is going to create a square with Neptune in Pisces, which is already stationary. So one of the effects of the square between the moon and Saturn many times is, to acquire this, or to perceive from, this negative filter many times, to be more pessimistic in a certain way. But the invitation of this square is to put a healthy boundary to what is really not nourishing us, to the information that is not collaborative, and also the mental patterns that are not collaborating. Tomorrow, with the square between the moon and Neptune, the polarities could express, this confusion, this resistance to hear the voice of the intuition, to feel a little bit disconnected from ourselves, escapisms, apathy, these kind of things. So the invitation of that square is to use that energy to create. We could descend like creative ideas, or it is a moment to cultivate our connection with spirituality, with our own soul, a moment to, practice meditation, or to connect with something higher, in a good way, not using substances, which is also the polarity, the other polarity of Neptune. So, I wanted to mention that because all of this is happening in the context of the new moon in Cancer that we have on July 5th. So this new moon that is associated to the relationship with the mother, the family environments, the home, and the experiences of the past too, could also reemerge these old conditionings, this old pain, and we have an opportunity right now to identify that and transcend. But what many times happens when we enter in these patterns with our mind is that, of course, we are entering in an automatic pilot, something that is known for us. We are losing the presence. But many times we are so attached to those patterns because they are known, because we are attaching to judge what the experience is bringing to us, or what is presenting, that in order to redirect our thoughts and to put them in something that can really collaborate with our path, we have to surrender our ego. That is the invitation of Neptune. In fact, surrendering our egos, which is not always, it is an easy task, but many times we make it complex. And this thing of the attachments could also be activated because we are having also this conjunction between Mars and Uranus. And I mentioned this many times, but Uranus, Taurus, sorry, is this energy that many times creates resistances to change. And this conjunction is very, very powerful because they meet every 2 years, and the next time they are going to do so, they are going to be in Gemini, in 2026. So it is the last time that this is happening in here. We are freeing ourselves from a very limiting structure, from those limiting structures that are preventing us from moving forward, from taking the initiative or taking the action, to put our resources at the service of something that is evolutionary, because this is the energy of Uranus. To give the value that we deserve also to our talents, our capacities, and those kind of things. So the last thing that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention yesterday, because this is going to be perfected the next week, is that Jupiter in Gemini is creating a sextile with the North Node in Aries and a trine with the South Node in Libra. This is already active, but it is going to be perfected the next week. And I wanted to mention this because this is a very nice transit. We are talking about harmonic aspects. So if there is a certain step or certain decision that requires like this courage, when we talk about the North Node in Aries, we are talking about independence, courage, opening our way, and being who we are. So the sextile with Jupiter could be this this push of trust in the inner guidance to give that step, to trust in life, and to trust in that guidance too. And also with the trine, with the South Node, we could identify, in an easier way, or to transcend in an easier way these old patterns, that many times are associated when we talk about Libra to attachments, codependencies, and these kind of things. I wanted to mention that, but I am going to talk about that later because, as I said, it will be perfected the next week. Well, family, I am ending this video here today. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.